Hi, I'm Chu-Chun. Growing up bilingual and at one point trilingual myself, I've always wondered about evidence about potential benefits and disadvantages of being multilingual beyond just anecdotal stories. Today, I'll be focusing on bilingualism on the development over the lifespan and implication for mental health providers. Language is more than a means of communication. It is a very noticeable and valuable means to establish and promote our social and ethnic identity. Language skills have been shown to be related to child psychopathology. Strong language skills are substrate to many protective factors such as IQ, communicative and social competence, and academic success. More than half of the world's population uses two or more languages in everyday life. Bilingualism is present on all continents, all classes of society, all age groups. In the US, 21% of school-age children between 5 and 17 speaks a language other than English at home, a number projected to increase in years to come. Infancy sets the stage for all future language development. Bilinguals can roughly be categorized into two groups: birth, where native bilinguals, where both languages are spoken by native speakers to the child before age 3; sequential bilinguals, learning one at birth and acquiring another language later, representative of the U.S. bilingual population. Psychologists became interested in bilingualism during 1920s, looking at why bilingual children were performing much worse at school than monolinguals. While the results confirmed the stereotype, in actuality, this is more of a reflection on SES and social capitals, where many bilinguals were immigrants or lived in economically disadvantaged neighborhoods without rigorous education. Unfavorable views on bilinguals continued into the 60s until researchers selected participants carefully to control for the impact of SES and levels of fluency in both languages. The result was that bilinguals actually outperformed monolinguals on cognitive tasks such as concept formation, cognitive flexibility, problem solving, and creativity. With improved executive function, multilingual brain is said to be nimbler, quicker, better able to deal with ambiguity, resolve conflicts, and even resist Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia longer. Speaking more than one language is also said to enhance mental health development and give us the ability to communicate with people we otherwise would not be able to. How do we explain for the observed bilingual advantage on cognitive skill? One explanation is when a bilingual prepares to speak in one language, the other one is never really switched off or just waiting for its turn. Supported by psycholinguistic experiment that both languages are always active to a certain degree, people can switch back and forth without intention or conscious recollection. Myth about bilingualism causing language delay is simply not true. While a bilingual child may speak their first word later than monolingual children, it is usually within normal range of development within 8 to 15 months of age. If a bilingual child has significant delays in language milestone, they could have a language disorder unrelated to bilingualism. However, what happens to a bilingual child if they do have a language deficit? Language deficit may predict ADHD, externalizing behavior, language-based learning disorder, as well as depression and anxiety. 30 to 75% of children referred to psychiatric services are estimated to have a language deficit, compared to 7.4 in the general population. One study found that language disorder, deficit, and bilingual language skills were closely tied with psychopathology, while clinical psychopathology and proficient bilingualism were almost never found together. Language delay monolingual children are often poorly socialized, have externalizing and internalizing problems, while having language deficit for bilinguals did not predict internalizing problems. Subtractive bilingualism is problematic when learning second language comes at a cost of the first language. Development of home language may be associated with strengthening family cohesion, parental authority, and transmission of cultural norms, while developing second language skills may be crucial for academic success, vocational success, as well as long term economic well being. Due to assimilation forces in the U.S. propelling children of immigrants to learn English quickly, changes or losses in home language occurs quickly after they begin school. Usually, first language encodes and labels first emotions and regulates early mental states. Thus, inadequate first language skills may lead to emotional dysregulation. Poor first language skill may lead to ineffective family communications and losses in its protective function, while inadequate second language skill may result in social incompetence with peers. As intact interpersonal communication modulates behavior and emotions, inadequate language skills may consequently result in maladaptation, such as behavioral, mood, and anxiety problems. Language based discrimination may occur for bilingual individuals where they experience one or more of the following: discomfort speaking one or more languages, lack of belongingness, sadness, anger, embarrassment or fear to speak, negative image of self and others, as well as negative impact on academics, work, relationships. Bicultural adaptation occurs when minority children and adults develop ability and competence in both cultures. Conceptualized to be a protective factor, when individuals are able to communicate in both languages, it will allow them to draw out protective resources from both worlds, both culture, thus increasing the chance of adaptation while minimizing distress. So, what does this all translate to for us as mental health professionals in the 21st century? As there are documented and empirically based benefits as well as potential concerns for bilinguals, considerations about how one's bilingualism and biculturalism may impact their mental health should be further explored before clinicians jump to conclusion. Considering richness of unique resources children would have access to in two language, instead of discontinuing exposure to home language when children are facing cognitive and language delay at school, researchers now recommend supporting both language will be most beneficial for children in terms of having family and community support while increasing academic and social competence. Exposure to other kids, books, foreign language babysitters are strategies suggested to promote sequential bilingualism. There are even smartphone or tablet applications designed for this purpose. While the quantity of spoken language has been said to be the most important factor in learning a language, the amount of positive feedback the child hears is a close second. Given that most children have the capacity to learn more than one language, and for many of them, bilingualism and dual language development may be inevitable. Learning more about how bilingualism impacts individuals' psychological and interpersonal well being is crucial for mental health providers to be informed and sensitive towards specific needs unique to these populations. Thank you.